Hello one and all, welcome to a Galaxy Man Show interview show. So for today's guest is this incredible actor known by the name of Kriek, who was in this incredible film, new release called Rogue. So I'm about to give Greg an invite to the live now, and yeah, have a chat about Rogue.
Hey,
Hey,
hey, Jacob, how are you,
how's it
my
going?
man?
Yeah, pretty good.
Good. It's pretty hot today, hey, man. Are you in California as well, right?
No, I'm actually in Australia.
Oh, no way, sweet, dude.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
you down under, man. Isn't it quite early?
Oh man, it's hectic early. Yeah, it's like 7 in the morning.
Oh, dude. Well, thank you, man. I really appreciate that.
It's totally all good. Well, so what I'm going to get you to do is I'm going to get you to introduce yourself if you can and explain a
Sure.
bit about what you do, and then I'll dive right into the questions.
Awesome. Perfect, man. Okay, sweet. Well, yeah, my name's Greg Kriek, and I'm a South African Hollywood actor and producer. Yeah, man, just been very lucky to have worked internationally. Some international shows would be the new one that came out last week Friday in the States is Rogue, Black Mirror, Maze Runner, Inside Man 2, Tremors, Samson, and then in South Africa, at least that would be The Recce, A Monsters May Par, and a bunch of others. So yeah, very lucky to have worked in different parts of the world. Love what I do. I'm still learning so much, and yeah, I get to tell kick-ass stories with amazing people. It's a real privilege.
Awesome. So we'll dive right into the questions now, Greg. So for my
Sure.
first question, what was it like filming in South Africa for the movie Rogue?
Man, it was like a dream come true because I actually I was in LA last year, so to be able to go back home and see family and to work with an amazing like cast from all over the world. Obviously, Megan Fox, Philip Winchester, then incredible South African legends as well, like Brandon Oretz, Sunday Henna, Jessica Sutton, Ashish. Like it's just unbelievable, you know, like the just the caliber of talents in front and behind the camera. So that was great to be able to kind of have like a hometown advantage, and obviously show off Africa in its full glory. It was just, yeah, it was a real proud moment just in terms of the caliber. I mean, I'm sure you'll know as well, Jacob, like with the level of stuff being shot in Australia, it's always wonderful to be able to have that homegrown advantage, you know?
Yeah. Like like with when I actually watched the movie Rogue, I was like the sites that you guys shot at, it was incredible,
It's
man.
pretty badass, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
man. Did
guys
you
did
did you
such
enjoy
a great
the
job.
river sequence as well? It was pretty sweet, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
oh man, that scene, like I don't want to like spoil or anything for anyone that hasn't seen it, but like that scene,
yeah,
when you guys were in the river, that was crazy stuff,
yeah. It was
man.
pretty sick, eh? Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
But on to my next question. What did you learn from the experience while filming Rogue?
Man, you know what? It's always a special thing to make a movie. You know, I always say it's a miracle, man, because there's so many factors involved to get the right people at the right time, to get all the financing in place. It's a team sport, like through and through. You know, it's never just about a actor or the actors or a certain group of people. It's a full team effort, you know, to make it off, you know, to pull it off. And Rogue specifically, you know, we had challenges like being in the elements. As you'll see, it's a very gritty movie, and you know, everybody's body was like put on the line. But I learned that teamwork makes the dream work. I know it sounds like a cliche, but it was just we really had such a sense of family, and pride. Everybody going to work, and it was really special. You know, it was really special to have this international cast and crew, and the fact that when you do your job well and when you care about everybody else, something magical happens, you know. Then kind of like the sum of all the collective parts is much bigger. So yeah, I learned a lesson in terms of being a team player, and also the fact that you know, the film industry is now global, and it's so wonderful that we're not just like locked into one location. Like we're telling stories all over the world, and it's just a wonderful privilege and honor to do what we get to do.
Awesome. So on to my next question, Greg. So you play a character called Mike in Rogue,
Yeah.
and he kind of at the start he doesn't really get along with his captain, played by
Right.
Megan Fox. What was it like working with Megan?
Oh, I got to tell you, man, she taught me so much. Like, you know, there are people in this world that just have that star quality, and this is the case with Megan. She's such a sweetheart, like so generous, so giving, so professional. It was a real honor to work with her. You know, like, you know, it's just amazing to see how a person is just deserving of so much success, and how they are, like, you know, at a, you know, person to person level. You know, she really has a gift to like listen to others, and she's always game. So for me, I really learned a lesson in terms of being a class act. That's what Megan Fox, you know, that's who Megan Fox is. She's a class act as a human being, and as an actress.
Awesome. So for my next question, why should people be invested in the movie Rogue, in your opinion? Like, why would you want to get someone invested into the movie?
Yeah, well, you know, listen, man, we are in crazy times, and Rogue is more than what you see on the surface. You know, you can't like judge the whole movie. I'm sure you know by now, having seen it. Like, you know, there's a lot more to the story than just your typical extraction mission that goes wrong. You know, it's there's a lot more going on the surface. I don't want to give too much away, but obviously there's a lot going on in terms of you know, bad practice in conservation in different parts of the world, and in terms of you know, poaching. So yeah, it's a big deal. So I love the fact that Rogue has a commentary on that, and I love the fact it's really awesome to see Megan and a strong female character, and what they get to pull off in the workplace. I think that's a beautiful fresh spin on things. And also, yeah, just this colorful range of characters. So it's not your typical like action film, even though the action doesn't disappoint, as you can tell. And with strong themes of conservation, you know, themes of what it means to be a woman. And I won't give the whole plot away, but it's really beautiful. I think it's got that best blend. What I like about Rogue, because I've done some action movies in the past, is it really has a heart to it. You know, it's got real story. It's got real character. There are real obstacles internally and externally that the team and the individuals have to and need to overcome, which makes it really beautiful and unique in that sense.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
for the next question, Greg, you've also been in this film called The Race, and you played this character called Hank.
Yes.
What was that experience like for you?
Yeah, man. Oh, listen, that was an honor. You know, it's you know, the special forces in South Africa were all called recce's. You know, coming from the word the reconnaissance, and yeah, to play Hank in the recce was like really a dream come true. You know, because obviously being from South Africa, you know, I'm from a later generation, but having heard all these stories of these men that, you know, went to the border and were thrust into these difficult circumstances, that was something that hit close to home. And it was also beautiful. I mean, I put a lot of work in for that. And I must say, if I didn't have projects like the recce, you know, I would probably be in lesser standing to have gotten movies like the Rogue, because in the recce, I got a lot of training, you know, in terms of like weaponry, physicality, really understanding the mentality of what it means to be a special forces operator, even though I'll never claim that, you know, I haven't been in the military. So I say that with the utmost respect, but, you know, I put a lot of work in to really try and understand what it means to put your life on the line for a country. So yeah, that was epic, and also very privileged that the film was really critically acclaimed and successful all over the world. We won Best Foreign Film out in the United States last year. Very grateful that I was able to pick up a Best Actor award back in South Africa as well. And also just again, a team effort, you know, brilliant cast, brilliant story. And these are the stories that I really love to tell. You know, I think, you know, we can never get enough of it. Like war, in all shapes and sizes, just impacts men and women all over the world in many different ways. And it's such an honor to be part of that, you know.
Awesome. Well, for my next question, you also mentioned you were in the Maze Runner. What was that experience like?
Man, it's kind of crazy. Well, first of all, I always joke with my friends, you know, I always say to them, I think I'll know I made it when I get flown to set in a jet plane. And I don't know how it happened, but somehow on Maze Runner, I got flown to set, because we were in a remote location, on a jet plane. So I was like, well, this is pretty cool. You know, being a South African actor and, you know, getting something cool like that. And then to top that off, I got to hang out like for literally like almost a week with living in the same place with Barry Pepper and Dylan O'Brien. So not only did I get to film and be part of the movie, but honestly, I got to like literally in South Africa, we braai. You know, we call our barbecues braais. I got to braai with Dylan O'Brien and Barry Pepper at night around a campfire. And like, you cannot put a price tag on such an epic experience. But the movie was fantastic. I mean, like, I think with every actor, you know, when you get to play on these big, expensive sets, quote unquote, you know, this big set, and to work with a technical wizard like Wes Ball, he's such a genius of a director, you know, in terms of what he's done with VFX. And, you know, I think we're in an era now where VFX directors are really getting a lot of these big, quote unquote, tentpole movies. So that was really, really awesome to be part of a franchise, and, you know, to get to see all these people that I grew up watching in action and to be part of it was awesome. I like Barry Pepper, for example. I mean, the guy, what a great actor, man. Like, you know, some of the movies that I really enjoyed were like We Were Soldiers, and I just feel like and even Saving Private Ryan. I mean, he's genius. He's just like this unsung hero. Really, really think he's such a legend, man. So yeah, that was epic. It was really epic working on that.
Awesome. Well, for my next question, who was the person that inspired you to get into acting in the first place?
Yeah. That's a tricky one, you know. And hi to everybody that have joined in. Thanks guys for joining. Yeah, look, it's been a collection of people. Definitely my grandmother, my mother, and my uncle Daniel in the United States. You know, he was a tremendous help. He was like a father to me, you know. And you know, it's so tricky when you're a young actor and you don't have any credits to your name, and everyone kind of has that attitude of like step in line. I'm so grateful for all the people, especially like with family members and even friends who are, you know, closer than brothers and sisters. It's a journey, my man. And it's a collection of people, but definitely the people in the beginning that even without having anything to show for myself were there and said, you just got to stick to it. You just got to persevere. It's a time game. That's been incredible. And it's you know, it is a thing. I think for any actor, you know, you realize that more as you get more involved in Hollywood projects. It's an absolute miracle because so many people want to do this, and you know that like if you don't give your best on any particular day, there are millions behind you waiting in line to do this. So I do not take it for granted. For me, it's like I feel like I'm living a dream, and that, you know, I hope I don't wake up soon, but that's why, you know, I'm working harder than ever to stay there and to maintain a consistency in terms of being a working actor. And I take my hat off to anybody who's ventured into this path. You know, it's not easy. It doesn't get handed to you. There's so much that you need to learn and grow as a human being. And the industry gets tricky. You know, there's no guarantee that a movie will do well or won't do well. You know, it's like there's just all you can do is your part. There's so many factors out of your control is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I am a product of people you know, believing in me. Obviously the big onus is on your own shoulders as an individual, because sometimes you need to prove to people that you really mean it. You know, if you really want to do this, then you can't wait for an invitation from someone else. You've got to go and do it. And I've learned a lot. I'd say the biggest thing that I've learned in terms of acting is perseverance. And again, what I really do is I like to check in with the reason why. Why do I want to do this? And for many people, they've got different reasons. And there's nothing against those that want to, you know, become rich and famous. But my thing really, and I don't mean to sound like I'm making a UN speech here, but I really love telling stories. I really love bringing people to life. And I think actors really do get to do a noble thing in terms of reflecting back to society what it means to be human. So I've learned so much, you know, in terms of not being able to judge a human being. Like we all have reasons why we do what we do. And, you know, we all have a story to tell. And I know that from my own life, you know, in terms of, you know, things are not as it appears on the surface. So it's a tremendous honor and a privilege. And, you know, I still can't believe that I still get to do this, and there still opportunities coming. And, you know, I look back now and I can't believe that in such a short space of time, I've had this tremendous privilege of doing all these projects in different places. And I'm just grateful that I get to continuously grow and do this like with a team of people. And that's what I often say. I speak to a lot of actors that want to like break in and don't know where to start. The key with this whole thing is it's like, once you know why you want to do this, and once you've kind of set out and make a choice to do this, you've got to realize that this is it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, it's a lifestyle. And to know that it's a tremendous adventure. If you approach it from the mindset of it's an exciting adventure. Yes, there are lows, and yes, everyone's going to tell you it's impossible, but I tell you, it's so worth it when you get those highs and when you get those breaks and you learn as you go. And many people are afraid. I mean, like, listen, I never had any formal acting training. I've got an honors in economics. You know, I came from a totally different background, but I've learned as I went along. And I think if you can develop a kind of system for yourself where you know what works for you, if you kind of keep your mindset open like a child and say that, you know, you're always willing to explore and to relearn and to reinvent yourself, then you've got the DNA to keep it going. But it is something that, you know, one cannot candy coat it. It is tough. It's super competitive. There are factors out of your control. But one thing you can control is your attitude. And if your attitude is one of, I'm willing to keep learning, I'm willing to make a fool of myself, I'm willing to lose, but you still keep going, man, then nothing can stop you. You know, so I really take my hat off to everyone who even has this dream, and especially to those who maybe have, you know, given up in the meantime because it's been so tough. Like, give it another chance and give it another chance again. And, you know, yes, life happens. You know, we all in different walks of life, different stages of life. And yes, we need to keep the lights on and pay the bills, but don't give up on your dream. Do what you can, no matter where you are in the world. You know, there's so much, like I'm living proof of the fact. I mean, I come from literally just, you know, like being down under. I'm down, you know, I came from down south in South Africa, and, you know, in a very small market compared to the rest of the world. But I just did my thing and was diligent and did my auditions and kept learning, kept growing, even after many rejections, and just stuck to it. And then one thing turned into the next thing and the next thing. And, you know, even with Rogue, I was lucky. This was my second time working with the director, MJ Bassett. You know, I was so that's what's awesome. You know, like one thing can turn into many. So, yes, everyone's going to tell you, you're crazy, don't do it, you know, stay the heck away from wanting to venture down this path. But, you know, I look back now and it's amazing to just get feedback, even from friends that knew me from school. And they were like, dude, you did it. Like, you said you were going to do this and you did it. And that's a great feeling. But the thing is, it's perseverance. So, but it is possible. If you can just get that right, if you can, in your mind, despite what the world tells you about, you know, you're too short, you're too this, you're too thin, you're too fat, you're too this, you're too that. I didn't let that stop me. You know, I mean, I can tell you horror stories of what people used to say to me right in the beginning. I mean, enough to make you quit a long time ago. But in your own mind, if you can make it up for yourself and say, it is possible, if you can start there, even though that little seed of the idea that it is possible, everything else just grows from there.
Awesome. Well, for my next question, Greg, what TV or movie franchise would you want to work on currently that's on now, if you could?
Man, well, listen, I think it's every young boy's dream to play a superhero. I'd be lying to you if I said I wouldn't want to be part of the Marvel universe. I think it's unbelievable what Marvel has done around the world. And I mean, even just the idea of like what Stan Lee created in terms of his universe, you know, and I think we need more hope in the world, especially in times like these, you know. So a franchise that does still, despite obstacles, give messages of hope like Marvel, I'd love to be part of that. I like a blend of character and action, so I'd love to do something like, you know, the Bourne series one day. That would be awesome if that keeps going. Yeah, something that combines a little bit of physicality as well as a story. But yeah, I also am a sucker, even though it's not a franchise, I'm a sucker for a biopic. I love playing real life characters. I've had the privilege of doing that a couple of times before. So I'm still, you know, I've kind of like shifted from just waiting for opportunities to come my way. I've started seeking opportunities actively of stories that I really want to tell. And I wish I could share more now, but I'm actually attached to a project that has to do with the Holocaust. And that'll be shooting next year, which will be a game changer, you know, for me, you know, career-wise, but also as a human being, you know, in terms of the story and the many victims from that period. So that's something that I'm already doing my research on, and something that I want to tackle with a lot of sensitivity, but a story that's ultimately going to be super powerful.
Awesome. Well, for my last question, Greg, what projects are you currently working on at the moment that you would like to announce on the show?
Yeah, well, I'd like to mention there is another project that launched on IMDb TV on Friday, which is The Holy Heist, which was a tremendous privilege to be a part of. We shot that in North Carolina, directed by Brigham McNeely, a legend, and it's about three country brothers kind of on the rough side of the tracks that go to extreme lengths to save their mom, you know, real action-packed heist film with family drama. So that's actually launched on Amazon Prime and IMDb TV. Then on the 11th in Africa will be the African premiere of Rogue, even though it's now launched in the States. Then I have another sci-fi coming out soon called Colonials, which is really cool. Another amazing opportunity to play a leading man, and something that's kind of in the vein and style of Guardians of the Galaxy. So it's a nice departure from what I usually do. Something a little more comedic than just serious and dramatic. And then, yeah, I'm very lucky to be part, one of the producers and also part of the team that's worked on a project called The Stranger, which is actually one of the few South African Westerns that have ever been done. And that's set in the Anglo-Boer War. So that's pretty interesting. It's called The Stranger. And we've done the short that won a couple of awards, but now we're going to be doing that as a series actually coming up very soon, which is really awesome. So yeah, I've got my work cut out for me. I'm in the running for some big things, which I wish I could have announced by now, but I'm still waiting for the final green flag. Yeah, there's one thing that I am holding thumbs for in November, which people will probably want to kill me when they hear who I'm potentially working with. It'll be the biggest break in my life so far, you know, so really holding on for that one. But yeah, I'm just really grateful to get to do what I do and with amazing people. It's a team sport, like I said, and you know, I think we in such an exciting time, man, in terms of history, in terms of cinema, it's become a lot more accessible to be able to create our own stories and tell our own stories. And no matter what level, whether it's indie or studio, there's opportunities for everybody. And I would just say, like, get smart, sign up, you know, keep finding out about opportunities and go for it. Do it. It's a practical industry. So you got to pick up a camera and get shooting.
Awesome. Well, can I just say thank you so much, Greg. It means so much that you came onto my show, and everyone definitely go support Greg. He's such an inspiration, and yeah, you got so much great stuff ahead of you. So thank you so much again.
Appreciate that. Right back at you, Jacob, man. Great job with the Galaxy Man show, and thanks for getting up early down under, man.
Yeah.
They're moving the asset. We go now.
Get down!
Let's go!
We lost the Osprey extraction. We have the governor's daughter. We promised I would keep her safe. We have a militia group in close proximity. They will come for us.
I wonder what this place is.
No one here.
Okay, but where did they go? Looks like the driver was cut up and dragged out.
What?
He's torn to pieces.
The lion got him.
Some lions go rogue. She likes to kill.
How do you know it's a she?
Females are the true killers.
Do you want to take a stand here?
Light 'em up. Molotov music, let's all lose it. Burn 'em up. Set a fire to it for my amusement.
We can finish this.
How about the sound of a fight movement? I gotta do what I gotta do. That's for my face, like in my face. I gotta do what I gotta do. I pray to God, he never came. I'ma do me. That's in my blood, I never change. This is the toast of the underdog. Now we doing it our way. Light 'em up, light 'em up. Light 'em up, light 'em up, light 'em up. Light 'em up, light 'em up.
Everything makes a pastor go from helping others to chasing law-breaking people. Think there's gonna be a problem?
I ain't worried about that hypocritical prick. None of us should be.
I left the pastorship and decided to broaden my horizon and make sure justice is served. I guess you boys have heard that there has been a span of robberies in the area.
If you've got something to say, then say it.
Since I don't have any real evidence to tie you boys to the crime, I can't do anything.
Oh man, this is bad! Just shut up, Bobby! We are going to prison for this! Man, nobody's going to prison, Bobby! I know what I'm doing!
I'll be seeing you boys soon enough. You can count on that.
I can't keep taking these big risks for these small payouts. With me on the inside, this is a breeze. How do you know that kind of money will be there?
I'm willing to give you everything I have as far as blueprints, logistics, etc. You name it.
We found our father face down in a puddle of his own piss. He died because he was an alcoholic.
The suspects have consistently been in a group of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Get off our property.
Don't go messing with the Jefferson boys!
Here's my card.
Call me.
Thanks. I'll see you.
Yes, you will.
I ran into Detective Danny today at church.
You could have ruined this entire upcoming operation.
James, I didn't say anything wrong.
I'll ride over tomorrow and talk to Mom alone. And maybe she'll open up to me. We need to know how bad this is.
Are you sure you're okay?
I'll be fine, baby. You boys take care.
You know, I know I said no more jobs, but this definitely changes things. We can't just stand by and watch this happen.
I feel guilty about everything we've ever done.
Maybe you're our guardian angel here to purge us from all unrighteousness.
We're talking about $5 million. You'll be in and out before the police even knows what's happening. Clean and easy.
You and I both know there's nothing clean and easy about a bank heist. We have to protect the ones we love.